All right, folks, welcome back. I am Jake Ellenbogen, and today we're going to be doing a quick update with the Rams salary cap. So if you're wondering what the heck is going on, whether or not they can even afford to make moves, I'll explain in just a little bit. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JK Bogan, and let's get started here. So with the Rams salary cap, there's a lot of, misconceptions out there. First off, I want to, start off by saying, we really appreciate Jordan Rodrigue in this community. She's done a great job covering this team. And because of her findings and because she's willing to go the extra mile and actually ask the questions that not really everyone else is asking, we get this information. I'm able to make a video and so forth. So per Jordan Rodrigue, both Matthew Stafford at $49.5 million in 2024 and Cooper Kupp at $29.7 million in 2024 will play at their current cap number. Now, Jordan is in Orlando, Florida. I was just there, and I wish I was there right now. But Jordan was in Orlando, Florida, or is right now. And she's been, interviewing people like Tony Pastores and Les Snead and Sean McVay and talking with them about these, different questions that need to be answered at the, the league meeting. So with that said, that's why we have that information. The Rams currently, according to Over the Cap, have 13.8 cap space, 9.9 effective cap space. I'm talking about million, obviously. That's not including Laurel Murchison, because I'm not going to sit here and say I know exactly what that deal is. Has not been announced yet. My guess is it's the veteran minimum. If that's the case, it'll be 1.1 million against the cap this year. But if there's a chance it's a little bit more expensive than that, I don't want to just throw 1.1 million if that's incorrect. So what we know based on what I just told you is that Jordan confirmed they're not doing restructures for Stafford or Kupp, at least right now. She did mention that by having those open, basically they're allowed to work around should the Rams need it later for whatever reason, maybe a trade at the deadline. They can do that at that point, but right now they want to choose not to do that. Plus, keep in mind, when you move money around and you do a restructure, it is not a fail-proof method, okay? When you move Matthew Stafford's money around, now all of a sudden you are adding money from this year at his $49.5 million to next year, and you're making it next year's problem. And this is what we call a Band-Aid solution. It's not going to be a great thing. It will come back to haunt you down the road. So that's something to keep in mind there, and that's why I actually agree with what they're doing. Anyway, so Ernest Jones also mentioned contract extension talks have happened, according to Jordan. However, it seems unlikely a deal is going to be done anytime soon. And it is worth noting a Jones extension. I know a lot of people want him extended, but the business aspect of this, it doesn't make a ton of sense to do it right now. They wouldn't be saving, tons of money or anything like that. He is under contract another year before next year. And then, of course, next year he would have to be signed. He'd be in free agency. But they could also do it in the middle of the season. With that said, I have no issue with them waiting on Jones. I think he 100% should be brought back. But there isn't really any sort of, hurry to get this deal done. It's not like they're going to be getting a ton of cap space when they get this deal done. So with that said, I totally understand the standpoint they're coming from. So, recap: Stafford not getting restructured, Cooper Kupp not getting restructured, no deal necessarily for Ernest Jones incoming. Doesn't mean they're not going to ever pay him, doesn't mean it won't even happen before the season, but as of right now, it is not in the world. It's not imminent, we'll just say that. So the Rams don't have a ton of cap space. There are ways to get around this, though. Before I point to those ways, I just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor, of course, is our partner, Mantis Sleep. You can go and get your Mantis Sleep order using our promo code JKBogan. It'll get you 10% off. And the thing about Mantis Sleep is that there's going to be all different kinds of masks. I mean, I've said over and over again, I love the sleep mask, and I think it's great. I love that it's able to connect to your phone and everything. Obviously the blackout capabilities, the 20 plus hours of battery life. However, there are more masks out there. If you want more of, just a standard pro mask, they have that. If you want, a colder mask or, like heated eye cups, things like that, they have all sorts of stuff on their website. So definitely go and check that out. Again, promo code JKBogan will get you 10% off your Man Asleep purchase. Now back to the video. So, folks, the question remains. I know a lot of you are going to ask it, so I'll just answer it before you ask. The offseason signings this year, what do those cap numbers look like? Not everybody knows. Well, Jonah Jackson in 2024 will have a $13.6 million cap hit. Kevin Dotson will have a $12.6 million cap hit. Joe Nopum will have $11.6 million cap hit. Alaric Jackson currently has a $4.8 million cap hit. We'll talk about that in a sec. Darius Williams has a 4.6, followed by Cameron Curl, one of the best signings, I think, in the entire offseason. $4.2 million cap hit, an absolute steal of a signing there. Demarcus Robinson at $4 million. Colby Parkinson at $3.5. Because of Jordan, we just found out that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be at 2.9. Approximately 2.9, could be even lower. Michael Hoyt, 2.9. Christian Roseboom, 1.4. Laurel Murchison, it's up in the air. If it is a veteran minimum deal, then it would be a 1.1 cap hit, followed by Ronnie Rivers at $958K. So, with that said, I think the Rams did a great job this offseason. I don't think they're done. I think there's a lot that they can do. We know that they're working on adding some defensive players, whether that's bringing back Ahkello Witherspoon or that's adding, Trey Davis-White or somebody along those lines remains to be seen. The options the Rams have in 2024, okay, I thought about all of them that they could do. I used, of course, Over the Cap to help me out. Here's an important one. They can extend Alaric Jackson, make his cap hit as low as $1 million. That would save, if they could do that, of course, not a guarantee that, they would, but if they did, that would save $3.7 million in cap space in 2024. So there is a chance that while Alaric Jackson is a restricted free agent, and that is a really good price to get him at 4.8, if no one offers him anything, he would play under a $4.8 million deal over 1 year for the Rams. It would be locked in April. However, if the Rams are planning on seeing his market value and they want to actually extend him, they might be able to save money this year in extending him. So that's something to keep in mind. The second option is restructuring Matthew Stafford for a total savings of $19.8 million in 2024. I know this. I already said that this isn't happening. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening at all. It's just not happening right now. So if the Rams do decide, hey, we really want this guy, whoever it is at the deadline, say it's, Trey Hendrickson, and they really want him, but they know they don't have the cap space to add him to the roster, restructuring Matthew Stafford would give him that flexibility to do a trade like that. So that's something to keep in mind. Restructuring Cooper Kupp is the other one for $12.5 million in savings, according to over the cap. Cooper Kupp is a little different. See, Matthew Stafford, you feel like he's going to be your franchise quarterback. Keep going and everything. Cooper Kupp, there is something in the back of your mind that makes you wonder, how much longer does Cooper Kupp have? He's been dealing with some injuries. I mean, he could come back and be electric, and I kind of feel like he's going to. At the same time, the Rams might not want to kick the can down the road in case they have to move him next year, and then his contract just isn't movable, right? So that's something to keep in mind. If you restructure Cooper Kupp, you need to know that he's good to go, because if you restructure him, you move that money to next year, and then you have to move on from him and you have to trade him or whatever, that money is going to hit you over the head like a cinder block. So keep that in mind. Restructuring Rob Havenstein, I actually found, would save $7.7 million. This is a base salary restructure, according to Over the Cap, $7.7 million. They might go this route, okay? There was no mention of it. I don't think anybody has said anything of it, but Rob Havenstein, I mean, yes, his number would go a little bit higher in 2025, but if they needed the space, they could get the space with Havenstein. Then following that, our last restructure on this list is Tyler Higbee, saving $5.6 million. I know there's still some people that think he's out, people that think he's going to get released and all of that. Maybe they rework his deal. But I don't know if they even restructure him. I just think it'd be a solid move at $5.6 million. It would make him harder to move on from next year if they choose to do so. The last two, one is a little bittersweet. I would love to see Tutu Atwell get a legitimate opportunity in this offense. I'm a big fan of his, and I believe that his best play is yet to come. However, with that said, we've seen guys in the past, key contributors for the Rams, as a matter of fact, get traded away. We've seen guys like Robert Woods, who were supposed to be starting wide receivers, get traded away for nothing. We've seen guys like Kenny Young, who were starting on the team at the moment during the season, get traded away for nothing. We have seen starting cornerbacks like Marcus Peters get dealt in the middle of the season. It would not come as a shock to me if the Rams traded away their fourth receiver on the depth chart and a guy whose contract expires at the end of the year in Tutu Atwell. It would save them $1.4 million with very minimal cap, dead money. So that's something I think that they would consider. Cut or trade would do that. And then, of course, Hunter Long would also save them 1.3 with no dead money. So a cut or a trade would save them 1.3 if they did that with Hunter Long. Those are the options for the Rams in 2024. If you have any others that I missed, let me know. I was checking. I don't think there's much else that actually could logically happen. With that said, I think it's very likely Tutu Atwell gets traded. I think it's very likely Hunter Long gets cut. And I think it's potentially likely that Alaric Jackson is extended and they restructure a guy like Rob Havenstein when everyone's focused on Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. With that said, all of that considered, I think the Rams are in a good spot. I understand they lost Aaron Donald, and Aaron Donald's retirement did hurt them. But at the same time, you might not realize this, but Aaron Donald, the reason why his cap hit is so high and only saved $9 million in 2024 is actually by design. So what the Rams did, a lot of people don't understand this, the Rams took the 2026 contract. So Aaron Donald had dead money. It's a void year. It was a make-believe year, whatever you want to call it. A void year in 2026. They took all of that money they would have owed in 2026 and prorated that and put that into 2024. 2025, what you'll find is that Spotrac and off the over the cap are incorrect. So off the over the cap, I keep calling it off. Over the cap has Aaron Donald at $38.5 million cap number in 2025. That is going to go down to $9 million approximately after Jordan Rodriguez had some conversations with Tony Pastors to confirm. So what the Rams are doing, and the reason why it does suck and it does hurt in a sense, but the Rams are taking care of the dead money that is going to come in the future. They're instead taking the brunt of it now instead of having to but still owe the cap, because it'd be void years, to owe the cap like $15 million in 2026, because that's not going to help you out. So $9 million in 2025, $24.9 million in 2024 keeps you stable, right? It's not going to be a huge hit next year. The Rams should still have around $66 million in cap space, and they can play around with money and stuff. But according to right now, the Rams are at a $9.9 million effective cap space marker. So what will the Rams do? Not really sure. They can do a few things. They can play around with deals, whatever. We'll see what ends up happening. But we do know this. Sean McVay has said that they are working on getting more help on the defensive side of the ball. And that was not necessarily the NFL draft speaking. That's just in general. So who do I think they bring in? I'm going to throw a name out there. We're going to do a video on guys they might bring in. But I'm going to say Carl Lawson is going to end up being a Ram. I just have a feeling. It doesn't seem like they're trying to go out and get a premier edge defender. There's not really much out there. If they don't trade for Hassan Reddick, expect a guy like a Carl Lawson who has shown promise in the past, who honestly just wasn't utilized last year and is still decently young, to come in and basically be a part of a rotation with Michael Hoyt, Nick Hampton, O'Shawn Mathis, and then, of course, Byron Young before the draft. And then during the draft, they could also address that position as well. That is my thought process. If you guys enjoy this, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, also known as the like button. Be sure to drop a comment and also subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on all social media at Ellenbogen. And if you could, do me a favor and check out Mantis Sleep. The link is in the description, and you can get your purchase 10% off by using promo code JKBogan. I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.